Hello, people of the internet. Today I'll be showing you my prototype paper plush and my Love Braids paper plush. So for Love Braids, I didn't have a darker purple pipe cleaner, so I couldn't use that. But I did want to. Also, the reason I used pipe cleaners was to make them pose and bend and stuff. And then, yeah, the rest of her was really easy. It was just really difficult trying to get the pipe cleaners to stay in. I used like a lot of glue and tape to keep them in there. For the prototype, originally, his legs were going to be segmented and made out of cardboard with little red pipe cleaners, basically taping them together and making them able to move, but that didn't work, so I just went for this. Still works really well. We have the arms. We have, yeah, the bee butt with catnap's fur, which that is not the same paper I used on my catnap paper plush. This is my catnap paper plush. Yeah, it's barely noticeable, but it's a slightly different shade of purple. Anyway, I made his weird jester sleeves that were never seen before chapter 4 or 5, I guess. Yeah, we have the creepy looking face, which for some reason looks wrong to me. I don't know why. Probably because the hat isn't peeking over the head. Also, the neck also looks wrong, but I tried. It was really difficult to get this thing together. I stayed up till 5 in the morning trying to build this thing. Yeah. These were actually the most difficult parts. The bee butt and the rib cage piece. Everything else was pretty simple. Also, this is a reused arm from an old Mommy Longlegs paper plush that I am going to remake soon. Yeah, they all have pipe cleaner in them so they can bend and stuff, like the prototype does with them in the game. He does have 6 legs on one little square of cardboard down here covered in gray paper. Speaking of gray paper, I used all of my gray paper. I only have one full sheet of this gray color. But speaking of gray, the bones are made out of a different shade of gray, which I still have a lot of. Yeah. I think he looks pretty cool, pretty nice. Yeah. I still don't understand how these didn't show up in the chapter 4 thing where he walked by as a shadow. Don't know how these arms didn't show up, but whatever. Also, I'm talking about in canon because I know that the prototype didn't have a full design until like chapter 5, which honestly is pretty late for your main villain. But whatever. Yeah, I added these little gold detailings, the giant coat. Yeah. The light thing, the rib cage, his huge hands, which is actually probably the 3rd time I've made the prototype's arm. Also, they have pipe cleaners in them so that they can bend. Not this part because there's no room for that, but like they have them in the sleeve area so that they can bend and pose and stuff. Also, he barely fits in the place where I keep him. This is where I keep him, even though I just made him last night. This is where I decided to keep him, and, well, yeah, if I stand him up fully, yeah, he barely fits in here if you stand him up fully. Yeah. So, yeah, Also, Lily, she can actually hang by her hair. But yeah, you can see she hangs by her hair even if I'm not holding her. Don't mind all those guys in the background; they don't matter. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's all for these two. I really enjoyed making them, especially the prototype, but also Lily. Also, this is a new technique I use, making her, well, not really new, but something I haven't done in a while. Making her legs, and then making the feet bulge out a little. So yeah, she has the stubby little feet that she has in the game. Yes, I do need to fix this dress because it isn't really the exact thing that it's supposed to be in the game, but yeah, it's still a work in progress. I still have to do Poppy, the doctor, lots of characters. So yeah. Anyways, that'll be all for today. Uh, Bye.